Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tajana. Let's get into this. So, hi guys, happy Saturday. No periodic table, no alien talk. However, you already know the creator came through with a message. Alright. So, I actually was going to cover something else, but the creator gave me a download today. I was out and about, and I seen some Jehovah's Witness outside with their books, and the sign read, "What is true success?" Now, it's crazy because we've had similar conversations, but not like this directly, right? The creator has, on a few occasions, posed a question and had me serve these questions up, right, on a little small platter, just for us to pretty much analyze our thought process and to get us thinking, to get the wheels moving, greased up, and just moving in a proper direction. To kind of not only align our thoughts, but to also get us to understand a few things while we're moving in a certain direction, right? Now, it depends on who you ask this question. We have our own perception of life and what it truly means to be a person who is successful, right? We don't all have our own goals. Some of us strictly follow the creator, while others don't follow the creator at all. They follow their own selves. And then you have some people who are being guided and directed by low vibrational entities and spirits, right? Success when you're being led by the devil is probably going to look like a bunch of famine, people being impoverished, people being consumed by all these low vibrational entities, mainly Jezebels, incubus and succubus spirits, and a lot of the low vibration, it looks different on every bloodline, right? So if you are a person who is supposed to be a healer, right? The devil will use sickness to mock God and come at your bloodline and come at you to try to stop your destiny and your purpose. If you are supposed to be a singer, he will, use whatever it is that can break off the gift, the desire of that thing. If you're supposed to be a writer, he will try to give you writer's block and try to break off anything that is connected to writing, including people, ideas, right? So put that on the flip side. If it's something from the creator, success will look like everything that the creator wants. And sometimes being removed from places, people, and things is a part of the plan. So just because you're losing people doesn't mean that God doesn't love you and nothing's going to happen good for you. And just because you're gaining people doesn't mean that God is on your side. It could definitely be the devil sending in people to distract and destroy, okay? So all of these things, they have their place in the world, right? We now are in the middle. Now, we've had a conversation a long time ago about taking the higher and the lower vibrational paths, right? We get to choose. The creator has these plans for us, and when they say we get to choose our own will, this is what it means. You have the option to choose the higher vibrational track or the lower vibrational. It's all of the creator, right? But then when you start to follow the guidance and the instructions of lower vibrational entities and spirits, this is where you become demonic and dark, and you start doing things that go against your own moral code, right? I mean, to be born into something and to have life happen to you, and you are making decisions that don't really reflect God's grace, because something's happened and you can't see the higher side of it, that's one thing. But when the Creator reveals a higher side to you, a higher tract, a higher vibration, and you still decide to do something that's low vibrational in nature, and you're aware of that, that is where you become demonic and low vibrational, and you become responsible for the low level thinking that you've been doing, the low vibrational decisions that you are choosing. Okay, it's a difference, and a lot of the times we don't really realize that we have these three choices, right? Our own, God, the devil. And like I like to say, because it kind of sounds like a contradiction. Like if you're really listening and paying attention and tapping in, right, then you will understand the difference, but it has to be put into context, right? So like if I'm telling you, you have the option to choose the lower vibration or the higher vibration, and it's all given to you by God. It's like, okay, so what is the devil? The devil doesn't exist. And I mean, you would have to have a particular level of maturity and thinking to even fathom and put this into the right processing, right? And then you would say, well, you get to choose, and then when you make a decision, you've allowed the devil to take over. Like, it can be confusing, but again, this comes with context. It comes with a relationship with the Creator, and it comes with a particular level of spiritual and emotional and mental maturity. We get to make our own choices, but there's a distinction of your choices, your ideas, your thoughts, and all of that stuff when you are aware of the presence of the Creator. Once you become aware, this is when you start being held accountable for the higher and low vibrational thinking, your choices, right? If you don't know that God wants you to do something, I mean, we can have all the instincts in the world, right? But if the Creator is not revealing Himself to you, if the Creator is not saying, okay, here I am, I'm going to do something so that you can know I'm here, I exist, I'm real, and I'm pointing you in a particular direction, right? This is totally independent of God saying, okay, I'm here, but I'm going to sit back and not interject, not intercede. I'm going to let you make these decisions on your own without my input, and I'm going to allow the devil or these low vibrational entities to come at you, and I'm going to see how you respond to it all. In both of these cases, you are actually exercising your right to choose your free will, right? But the difference is God making Himself visible, God showing that He is there. Although you have all this chaos going on around you, He's still revealing His presence. And when you decide to not use His presence as a crutch, when you decide to lean on your own understanding and not press into His presence, that is where you go wrong. That is where you now are low vibrational and demonic. I'm just telling you, okay? That's how it goes, okay? If you ask a worldly person what success looks like, they may say, oh, setting this particular goal for myself and achieving it, right? I want to be a millionaire. I want to get this $50 million house. I want to start this company and this business, right? And I want to have 5 kids, and I want to be able to, travel the world, right? But then when you ask a person who is of God, who is sent by the Creator, who has a relationship with the Creator, who is living their life in their purpose, it's gonna probably sound similar, but not exactly the same, right? And it might be simple, like whatever God wants me to do, whatever, my purpose is, whatever that may be, to fulfill my purpose, like something like that, right? And even that is going to have some sort of goals attached to it, right? You'll have these goals attached where you will say something like, I want to be able to, God told me that by this age I'm going to have this type of business. I want to be able to accomplish that. I want to have my relationship with God. I want to be able to pass down wealth to my children's children, so they will never have to worry about work or working for someone else again. I want to be able to live a life that reflects the presence and the grace of God. And although those things sound similar, you can hear the distinction, because not only are we even mentioning God and the presence of God and the overall hierarchy, right, that comes with having a relationship with God and allowing God to lead, but you have this understanding that there's only a small amount of control that you have. You have given up your free will to the Creator. And again, depending on who you ask, it's gonna sound different. But all in all of the things that are required to live, right, and be at peace, and just make money and eat food and go shopping, all of those things require the same thing. If you allow the Creator to step in and lead the way you live, lead the way you think, lead in the way you travel, and lead in the way you make money, it's going to require a lifestyle change. And this may not even look like success to people who are looking in, right? It may look like you're living the most basic life, but people who understand the value of God, the value of the presence of God, the value of spiritual gifts and using them for what God wants you to use them for, using your power for what God said that you should and not for your own gain, doing what God wants you to do and has led you to do, and not acting out of flesh, but moving out of your own spiritual senses. This is where you start to get the difference in the quality of life. This is where you build your relationship with the Creator. This is where you understand the importance of free will, but still allowing the Creator to lead you and guide you and instruct you. Not the same thing. And again, depending on who you ask, that answer will look and sound very differently. And I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I was just told to pose the question, okay? What does success look like? True success. You can't be so focused on the tangible things that you skip or miss over the things that are important, okay? But I'm gonna end it here. I do love y'all. I hope y'all have been enjoying your weekends. I hope y'all are drinking your water eating your fruit and vegetables and sipping on your own tea because it's free. All right, love y'all. Peace.